Many years ago, in the beautiful, busy city of Abuja, there lived a man named Chuka. Chuka was a very rich businessman and wanted to get married to a lady he genuinely loved. And with the help of his grandmother, Chuka met a very beautiful lady named Amara. The moment Chuka met Amara, he had explained to Amara that he couldn't give birth to a child. He couldn't get her pregnant. Amara sat down and gave this a whole deep thought. So what was she going to do? If she can't give birth to children, how was she going to continue living? But in the long run, Amara told herself what mattered to her was that she loved her husband and her husband loves and respected her. But she also asked herself, what if he goes out cheating? Amara quickly told herself, he won't, because he's the one that can't give birth to a child. I am on a safe side, so he's the one that should get worried. So after Amara had given this a long thought, she agreed to Chukwuma's proposal and she told Chukwuma that she was going to get married to him. Chukwuma was a bit shocked, feeling that he was going to get her tied up in his life, feeling that at some point probably she might want to give birth. That saying yes now might be a short-term decision. What if much later she wants to have a child of her own? What were they going to do? He didn't want to put her in any pressure of any such. But Amara told him that she had accepted everything, that she was going to be fine, and she was going to make sure never to make him feel less of himself, and she promised to take care of him. Chukwuma gave this a whole long thought, and after that, he went on with the marriage and he got married to Amara. Amara was a village girl with little or no knowledge about sex, about copulation, about anything. So, after they got married, Chukwuma was the very first person that lived with her. Chukwuma had confirmed that he got married to a virgin, which gave him joy. He was really, really glad. But one thing Amara noticed was that every night after they were done making out, Chukwuma would rush to the bedroom and he would ejaculate. Amara was a bit shocked because whenever he was doing it, he seemed like someone in pain. But she didn't know what to do. And one day she quickly went to him and asked him, is there any way I can be of help? Do you need any cold compress or anything? Chukwuma will quickly tell her, no, don't worry. And he'll quickly ask her to go return back to bed if she was done washing up. To which Amara was going to do that. But as the days went by, she found out that this was a continuous process. Whenever they were done making out, Chukwuma would rush quickly to the bedroom. He was going to excuse himself in the bedroom. As this continued, Amara asked herself, is this normal? But she told herself probably everybody's issue was different. Probably he could make out, just that he couldn't get a lady pregnant. One fateful day, Chukwuma and Amara had gone to see his long-time best friend. And when they got to the house, he saw how Amara played with the kids. She was so friendly with these kids that she was just seeing for the first time. Amara carried the kids, played with them, asked them their names. Chukwuma admired from a distance. But after they left, Amara quickly apologized to Chukwuma and asked if he was okay with the way she had behaved outside, as she had promised not to make him feel uncomfortable in any way. Chukwuma replied and said, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. I'm happy that you were able to express yourself with the kids. But that soon took a U-turn as Chukwuma became distant, knowing fully well that Amara was going to gradually start craving her own kids someday. Chukwuma gradually distanced himself from Amara. The once lovely couple barely even had time for themselves. Amara went to school every day as she was a teacher, whereas Chukwuma went to his businesses every day. Unlike what the family used to be like, calling each other, Chukwuma went home straight the moment he was done from work, whereas Amara came back home on her own. And she knew that probably he got upset with the way she had taken care of the kids, not because he didn't like kids, but because he didn't want to make her feel bad for not being able to have her own child. So she quickly went to meet him up one day and told him, you don't have to bother. I made the decision. Even if I play with any kid, I'm not going to put you under pressure. You already told me before we got married, and I accepted to it. So I don't want you to feel pressured in any way. It's my decision. I already accepted it. So I want you to be very, very comfortable with me. I don't want anything to change. You're all I have and I'm all you have. So we have to make the best of every moment in our life. And after Amara was done with her confrontation, everything seemed to return back to normal. Chukwuma went back to being the all-loving husband, with Amara enjoying every bit of it. Breakfast on bed, Chukwuma always cuddling her up, telling her about so many businesses, his plans for life and everything. Deep down, she wanted to have a child of her own, as Chukwuma was very, very rich. So who was going to inherit all this property? Who was going to have all this? Was she going to donate it as a free will donation to the orphanage, to the church? Deep down, she wanted to have a child, but she knew she had accepted her fate. So whenever Chukwuma was around, she made sure to make him happy. She cooked his best meal. They went on different dates. Whatsoever Amara wanted, Chukwuma gave to her, knowing fully well that they had themselves. But one fateful day, while she and her friends were discussing, she had asked her friend something about people who had erectile dysfunction. She asked her friend, I once told you that I had a friend that got married to someone that her husband couldn't get her pregnant. And her friend said, yes, you told me about it. So what's the issue? Have your friend come to ask you any other question? And Amara quickly said yes. She actually told me that she noticed that whenever they were done making out, her husband rushed to the bedroom and he pours out everything. Her friend said, no, that can't be. If he cannot get a lady pregnant, there are different stages to this. Probably he could perform, but he's not supposed to pour out any serious something. It's supposed to be like water-like, fluid-like. And Amara asked herself, is Chukwuma hiding something from me? Is Chukwuma saying everything he needs to say? But she quickly snapped back to reality, knowing fully well that she told this person that this was her friend. And she said, okay, no problem. I'm going to tell her because I on my own part don't really have much idea about these things. Her friend said yes. Probably she should try being the one to sleep with him so that she will know if she could get pregnant. If she can get pregnant, probably he's hiding something from her. She shouldn't allow him pour out whatsoever he's pouring. Probably he had chosen not to have children, not because he cannot actually make her have children. So Amara took this thought home, and that night, while she and Chukwuma were making out, she suddenly went on top of Chukwuma and made Chukwuma come inside her. When she was done washing up, Chukwuma asked her, what did you just do? Amara said, nothing. I thought you enjoyed it. This is the first time I'm on top of you. I thought you enjoyed it. Chukwuma looked at her and said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What did you just do? And that was when it clicked to Amara that Chukwuma could get someone pregnant, but was refusing to get her pregnant. And she quickly asked Chukwuma, did I do anything wrong? Chukwuma said, why are you pretending not to know what you just did? Amara asked him, so you can get someone pregnant, but you refuse getting me pregnant? But Chukwuma said, no, I can't get a lady pregnant. Amara asked him, you can't or you don't want to. These are two different things. You can't is that no matter what you do, you can't get someone pregnant. You don't want to is that you have chosen not to have children, which is two different things. I have always pitied you. I always felt you were in pain whenever you went to the bedroom. Meanwhile, you're here deceiving me because I was ignorant, because I didn't have any knowledge about this. And you're here deceiving me and you're being mad when I'm supposed to be mad about this whole scenario. Chukwuma looked at her and said, you have to choose. You have to choose either to be married to me or to be a mother. I made sure I made it clear to you that I can't. I can't is that I don't want to. Amara looked at him and said, wow. So now I should choose between being a mother and being your wife. Amara looked at him and said, okay, no problem. Since we don't know if I'm pregnant or not, let's just keep quiet and watch if I miss my menses. If I miss my menses, so be the case. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be in this house and I'm going to be your wife. If you choose to ignore me, then you can do it. Amara stormed out of the room and left. She felt really bad. She now understood that Chukwuma could get someone pregnant, but he is refusing to get her pregnant. But for what reason? Why? Why is Chukwuma being that way? As the days went by, Amara seriously prayed to take him. Chukwuma checked up on her, not because he wanted to check up on her as he was already angry with her, but he wanted to know if she was going to miss her menses. No matter the time Amara tried to spend with Chukwuma, Chukwuma always avoided her. And when it was time for Amara to see her menses, the menses did not come. Chukwuma became offended, highly offended. Amara tried to keep herself together as Chukwuma always went out on functions and visiting friends. So whenever they had to go out together, Amara tried to look and act like everything was normal in her home. So one certain evening, Chukwuma's friends had invited him for a family dinner. They were celebrating a breakthrough in their business. So he quickly asked Amara to join. While they got to the dinner, while they were conversing, Amara felt a strange pain down her stomach. It was so sharp, and she quickly excused herself and went to the bedroom. On getting to the bedroom, while she was easing herself, she saw blood. She had just lost the child. Amara couldn't hold back her tears. She immediately started wailing right in the bedroom. She cried so loud that Chukwuma could hear her from the sitting room. She cried and cried. And when they got back home, Amara did not say anything. She couldn't say anything. She couldn't face her husband because she had lost on both parts. She felt that she had gotten the child, so she was okay with it. But now everything had just gone down the drain within a twinkle of an eye. She cried and cried. At this point, Chukwuma tried to console her in ways he could, but she always avoided him. She saw him as a liar. She saw him as someone who had betrayed her. During this period, she also resigned from the school. She needed a break. She needed to think things through. She needed to know the direction she was going to put her life in. So, Amara decided to arrange every part of the house every day. She chose a particular part of the house and arranged it during the day. So while at it, she had entered a particular office Chukwuma once told her was his father's study room. And while in the office, she saw pictures of other people and she knew that Chukwuma had no sibling. But she saw family pictures and so many things. She also saw letters that was written to Chukwuma's father and she was shocked. Why are all these letters unread? The seals have not been opened for one day. What's going on here? She did not know what to say. She didn't know how to confront Chukwuma about the situation. She just closed her mouth and hoped that she was going to get an answer from Chukwuma's grandmother the moment she comes visiting, as Chukwuma's grandmother had promised to come visiting them. A few days later, Chukwuma's grandmother had come visiting. This is Chukwuma's paternal grandmother. So this is the woman that gave birth to Chukwuma's father. And she was the one that took care of Chukwuma while Chukwuma was growing up. And she was the person that also helped to get Amara for Chukwuma. So she quickly asked her what the issue was and why Chukwuma wasn't even interested in having a child. And that was when she explained everything to Amara. That when Chukwuma was born, Chukwuma could not talk till age 5. And Chukwuma's father, Amechi, was very interested in continuation of the family lineage. He was disappointed in Chukwuma. Seriously disappointed in Chukwuma and Chukwuma's mother, and also blamed Chukwuma's mother for giving birth to a child that was deformed. So, Amechi got married to another woman and had kids. But as nature may have it, both the kids and the wife he had got married to had an accident one day and they all died. So much later in life, when he had found out that he had lost everything from that family, he tried returning back to the arms of Chukwuma's mother when he found out that Chukwuma could talk, and Chukwuma became the most intelligent of all children. Very, very intelligent. But at that time, Chukwuma had refused accepting him back as a father, knowing fully well that his father abandoned him and saw him as a curse rather than a blessing. So that was the reason why Chukwuma had vowed never to have children, as he had promised his father that he was not going to continue his lineage. Instead, the lineage was going to die with him. He was going to be the last person to bear his father's name. Amara felt bad. She felt bad with everything she had heard. She felt the pain Chukwuma felt, but at the same time, Chukwuma shouldn't allow the promises he had made to his father to determine his life. If he continued that way, he was going to be the same person as his father, trying to hold on to grudge. He should try to live out his dream and be a better person. After she had heard everything, she decided to wait up to Chukwuma's birthday. After Chukwuma's birthday, she was going to try to talk to him. Few days down the line, Chukwuma was turning 40. Amara made a very beautiful platter for him and even invited his friends to come celebrate with him. After they were done with the birthday celebration, Amara wore a beautiful nightwear and went to Chukwuma's bed, held his hand and spoke to him and told him, "You know, everything boils down to you. That your father did what he did, I'm not supporting him. I feel your pain. I feel the fact that you were neglected as a child. You didn't have father love and so many things. But I want you to understand that you're nothing like your father. But if you choose to hold on to that grudge, then you want to be like your father. If you can give birth, if you can bring forth children, then you should bring forth those children and give them the love your father did not give you. That way, you're going to be better off than your father. But if you choose not to give birth to children because you don't want to be like your father, then you're choosing to be like your father, choosing hatred over love. In life, you should first give love before you give hatred." Those words sank deep into Chukwuma's heart. Truth be told, Chukwuma loved kids. The way he played with kids, the way he plays with his friends' kids, were to be compared with nothing. He had never forgotten any of them's birthday. But he just didn't want to have kids because of the way he was brought up. He chose that the lineage of his father should end with him. They both went to bed. And the next day, when Amara woke up, Chukwuma was not on the bed. And when she went out, Chukwuma had already left for work. She felt that her words did not make any impact on him. So she told herself to just move forward. If that was what he wants, then she was going to respect his decision, as she had chosen to walk into that marriage. But that evening, when Chukwuma came back with her best chocolates, a beautiful bouquet of flower, and he apologized to Amara. He apologized to her for making her think he couldn't give birth. And after he was done apologizing to her, he told Amara that he was willing to give it a try. He was willing to give birth a try. He was willing to see if he could be a good father. To which Amara held his hands and told him, "You're always going to be a good father, not just to your children, but to me. You're going to be a good husband." And he told Amara, "Please, I need your assistance all through the way." To which Amara told him, "I'm always going to be here for you. I'm never ever going to make you feel bad. Even though I did something to hurt you initially, but I promise I'm going to hold your hand all through the way and make you understand how to be a good father." To which Chukwuma accepted, and that night they made out. Amara gave it her all. She wanted to get pregnant. She wanted to be a mother. And Chukwuma also on his other part tried to give it his all. And few months down the line, with everything going on well, the family returning back to normal, Amara took in. Chukwuma loved and protected her, guided her, helped her throughout the period of pregnancy. It wasn't difficult because Chukwuma was always in the picture. And as nature may have it, after 9 months, Amara gave birth to a son, and he was named Kaintona. Chukwuma became the best father he could ever imagine, because he was way better off than his father, and even way better off than what he thought he was going to be. The fear of negligence, the fear of not being able to give his all was overcome, as Amara held his hand all through the way, and Chukwuma became a better father than he ever envisioned. Thank you very much for listening to the story of the day. This story is just out there to encourage us. A lot of people tend to take serious decisions because of what they had suffered in life, or because of something that had happened while they were growing up. For Chukwuma, he had refused giving birth to children because his father neglected him. Decisions might differ depending on the situation. Sometimes it is good to look at the positive side of the situation and try to encourage yourself all through the way. Speaking to your partner, no matter the fear or no matter the situation, there is someone who is always there to give a listening ear. I hope this story is going to serve as an encouragement one way or the other. We still remain your favorite storyteller, Zika. Please do not forget to support us by liking our stories, subscribing to them, sharing our stories to your loved one. Till meet again in our next story. Bye for now.